Guys, what is going on? I'm Mr. Smith. If you're watching this video, that means that you are in my U.S. history class at Dickinson High School this year for the 2020-2021 school year. Now, this year is obviously different than just about every other school year you have ever had, certainly any year I've ever had. We are starting online. In 3 weeks from now, I'll be hopefully meeting a lot of you guys in person, and you'll be meeting me in person. But in the meantime, we're online. So this is just a little introductory video to get to know me, get to know what the U.S. history class is going to be all about. Over the next couple days, we're going to explore a few different applications that we're going to use the next 3 weeks. And if necessary, beyond that, if and when we do return in person, we'll be utilizing a lot of the things that we talk about over the next couple of days. So if you want to follow along with me on this PowerPoint, we're going to talk about a few things, just give you some background information on me and what to expect in this class. So like I said, my name is Mr. Smith. Welcome back to school letter up here. I know this year will be challenging, but I'm looking forward to facing it and facing it with you along the way, guys. So some information I'm going to go over with you. Our mandatory attendance check-in, a little bit about me, and a little bit about this class. First thing, the mandatory daily attendance check-in. Key word here, guys, mandatory. So you're going to hear about attendance a lot of times over today and this week. This is extremely important since we are not seeing you in person over the next 3 weeks. What you do every day, what you take care of every single day is very important for your attendance in class. You need to fill out a daily form every class period, every day. So you guys, while you're working at home, you are going to go into your Google Classrooms. There's a form in there. I'll show you what it looks like in a little bit. Some of you may have already seen it. I know some of you have already emailed me about it. But this is how you are going to be counted present for your classes while you are learning from home. You can find this form under housekeeping in my Google Classroom, and it's listed as Smith Daily Check-in. So every day, Monday through Friday, when you go into my Google Classroom for our class, the first thing I would recommend you doing is opening that form. All you have to do is put your name, your ID number, and your class period and click submit, and you're taken care of. But we need you to do that every day for every single class. Now, make sure you're going into Google Classroom every day to complete this form. Like I said, this is for attendance purposes. If you don't take care of that form, you will be marked absent for the class that you didn't do it in. So do it every day. It does not matter if you submit work. If you are on a Zoom video, you need to submit this form every day. It lets all of your teachers know that you are present, you are actively working on their material. All right, a little bit about me. So I graduated from Clear Creek High School back in 2004, just up the street from you guys. I have a bachelor's degree in communication from the University of Houston, Clear Lake. I attended the main campus for a while. But like a lot of things, it just got a little bit too expensive for me, so I came back down this direction. I have a almost 4-year-old son. He'll be 4 in December. His name is Justin. He attends the Gator Academy. You guys are going to hear me talking about him a lot all summer. He is my pride and joy. I love that little boy to death. And this is my 3rd year teaching history at Dickinson High School. Before teaching U.S. history here, I was teaching middle school Texas history in Hitchcock. So one thing that I gave you guys up here is one of my favorite quotes. This is from one of the people we will discuss in class, Teddy Roosevelt, former president. But the quote is, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms and great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that this place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Again, that's Teddy Roosevelt. Guys, to me, this quote, it just means take chances, make mistakes, go do things and not worry about how you're going to be criticized. It's one of my favorite quotes. I've always enjoyed hearing that quote. And again, Teddy Roosevelt's probably my favorite person that we talk about in class. So that'll be fun for you guys to learn about and hear. So moving on a little bit, here's some pictures of my son, Justin. This was his first day at Gator Academy. I think this was right after last year's graduation. He demanded that he get a mask to protect him from the coronavirus, as he said. But those are just some pictures of him. I'm sure once we return, you will see more pictures of him. I have several in my classroom. Let's see here, a little bit more about me, guys. I'm a big Astros, Rockets, and Texans fan, basically Houston sports. I grew up in this area. I love those three teams. I like Texas country music. Right here is one of my favorite Texas country singers, Wade Bowen. Probably the person I've seen play live more than anybody. I like fishing. I got a fishing kayak that I take out sometimes, and I have volunteered annually at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for the last decade. That's a lot of fun. I like that annual event. I was pretty disappointed this past year when they had to cancel it because of COVID. But we will prevail, and I'm sure it'll be back this year. Let's see here. So a little bit about our class, guys. If you have been in Dickinson ISD your whole life, chances are you took the first half of American history in 8th grade. That was from the age of exploration up until the Civil War ended and Reconstruction began, which was rebuilding the country after the Civil War. For our class, most of y'all, this is your junior year. We will be picking up where you left off in 8th grade. So we're going to be starting at 1877, right when Reconstruction ends. So the country's healed from the Civil War. There's new amendments that have been passed. And then we will go up until the election of President Obama in 2008. So we don't get much into his presidency. We go up to the election. So that is what we will be doing there. So Google Classroom, guys, we're going to be using Google Classroom both in class and for remote learning. If you do not know how to use Google Classroom, please learn. Most of your classes are going to be utilizing this throughout the entire year, I would imagine. Regardless if we come back to school in 3 weeks or in 3 months, you must be in Google Classroom. A lot of work is going to be in here. A lot of different links for meetings will be in here. This is a screenshot. This is actually of Ms. Hasso's Google Classroom, just a standard one that she sent us. But you're going to have a link for Zoom meetings. You're going to have the daily attendance links. We'll be putting weekly assignments, weekly screencastifies, Flipgrids, whatever we're doing for that week will be in your Google Classroom. And you need to make sure you're checking that daily. All right. So the big thing, at least for attendance purposes, is this mandatory daily attendance. For my Google Classroom, it's under housekeeping. Let's see here. All right, so your first activity, the first thing I need you to do for our class, if you did not already do it before you opened this presentation, I need you to go fill out the daily check-in form. It'll be titled Mr. Smith Daily Check-In. You're putting your first name, your last name, and I ran out of room on the page, but I think it asks you for your student ID number and your class period. That's it. As long as you do that, I mark you present for the day. No big deal. All right, so again, guys, I know it's going to be a challenging year. Hopefully, we're only doing this for about 3 weeks. If you need to contact me, you can get me at these 2 email addresses. It's tsmith@dickinsonisd.org or tsmith@apps.dickinsonisd.org, or you can call me. It's 281-229-6592. That is the direct, that's my line to the classroom. Let's see, what else? So Today's day one. I need you guys to check in tomorrow. There will be another presentation where we're going to be going over Google Classroom. We're going to be going over Zoom expectations for when we have meetings in Zoom, where I'm delivering some face-to-face instruction with you guys. We'll be live on at the same time. You'll be able to ask questions, but my expectations of that, we'll be going over that tomorrow. Let's see what else. And we'll probably do a little getting to know you activity, but I will let you know more about that tomorrow. All right, guys. Thanks for paying attention and watching this. I really appreciate it.